Cheers everyone, Merry coming International Women's Day, whatever is your attitude to this holiday. So this is a new episode of LH Crypto Analytics for the past 2 weeks. Here we will make an attempt to oversee what will happen in the next 2 weeks and well give some little advice on which investment strategies you could apply to your finance. The major economic events of the next week. So the overview briefly of the current situation on the crypto market, the best advice for investments for the midterm and long term, the vegetarian triumph overview, and unexpected results of whatever you think timber. So let's go. Well, that was 2 weeks of red candles for the crypto market, reaching its historic peaks almost in every major stable coin, beginning with, of course, the leader, the Bitcoin, with the growths which exceeded tens and tens of percent in almost every known, more or less known and media popular cryptocurrency. Crypto market went in a sharp pique, which lasts for, well, the last several days. Bitcoin has almost reached 60 grand per one Bitcoin, but unfortunately dropped from slightly below 57,000 per one Bitcoin to painful 46. Same happened to Ethereum from 2,000 to 1,400. Dogecoin, whatever Elon Musk tried to support it, or you never know, it is an interchangeable union where Elon Musk supports Dogecoin and vice versa. So Dogecoin has fallen from its peak of 0.45, which is still quite a growth from 0.08, and Litecoins fall from 244 to 171. Of course, these are just mere notebook level. You never know where these cryptocurrencies are at the moment now. Whether it is correction or not, we can't know for sure as well. It's crypto market, guys. This is just the way it behaves. But we can't but pay attention to the magic number of 20,000. It was the 20,000 level, impossible to be beaten by Bitcoin, impossible to be broken by Bitcoin in 2017 after 17, that sent it to the very low bottom of 3,000 or 4,000 in early 2019. It was the 40 and little plus level which sent the Bitcoin in another correction until recently. Finally, the 60 level, still the record one, is still unbeatable. Will the Bitcoin grow further? Well, it all depends on the market mood. After all, the number of new COVID cases daily grows, and authorities are speaking about the third wave of the coronavirus, and so, well, which is not the best atmosphere for investors to risk their assets. What we can say for sure, shorting strategies might be wiser in this case, especially in the lack of new positive news, which already cannot pump the growth enough. What we can say for sure is that the announced OPEC Plus ministers meeting announced in the previous episode is surely to happen in the mid next week. The growth of daily oil extraction by about 500,000 barrels a day, and some say even 1.5. The grounding is simple, everything is green on the oil markets. Prices of Brent are peaking 6 to 7, the unprecedented levels for the first time since that very January 2020. While we won't give any advice in the mid-term and short-term for investments in oil, which is to our view will mostly keep flat for the rest of the spring and summer, Citibank gives another idea for the good investment. The growing demand for the decarbonization be the source of a great potential for copper. The spot prices for copper on London metal stock has exceeded 8,000 and a half per ton, which is the highest level since 2012. This is a 7 times growth since the collapse of metal prices in March 2020, and there is definitely a potential. So if you're thinking about a long-term investment other than recommended previously investment in wheat, consider copper as a good idea. In LH Crypto Terminal you are able to trade copper, not to mention a number of other most popular metals, precious and not lumber. Just simple lumber, not an oil, just wood, is on its all-time heights. The continuing support of construction industry in the United States and one of the brightest growth on new homes in the whole history of the United States pushes a firm demand for wood. Well, this all stimulates the maxi super profits for the industry now. So who would ever expect? But still, if you're risky or vice versa, not risky enough, consider this as a good investment for your future. One of investment ideas of ours from the previous episodes, Beyond Meat, is finally at the top of the hill. Beyond Meat was able to sign a 3-year agreement with none less famous already McDonald's Corporation that will be the exclusive, the priority, better to say, supplier for the so-called McPlant meat for a new series of McDonald's burgers worldwide. The new offer is still on the test, but two companies have already announced that they are going to find a solution as a substitute not only for the beef and pork meat in their burgers, but also for chicken and eggs. The priority partner makes Beyond Meat a forerunner on the market and a bright investment idea for the coming months. And briefly, most important events the next week, along with the 8th of March, of course. Sunday, February the 28th, we'll see the manufacturing PMI in February in China, and the same in UK and Germany announced in March 1. All indicators are expected to stay the same or almost the same. German unemployment change in February and CPI yearly in February in European Union will be announced the next day on March 2. March 3 we'll see the crude oil inventories, a thriller of the recent weeks. Crude oil inventories used to drop sharply and unexpectedly from week to week, pushing the oil prices higher and higher. Will this flight to heaven, the rocket to heaven, will finally end? So March 4 and March 5 is unemployment statistics and initial jobless claims in February in the United States. Well, this is enough for today. We'll see you just in the next 2 weeks. Stay tuned. Merry spring, and may the profit be with you. Bye.